You don't need village council again, you know, boy. Parab doing everything. Now we need to make sure that doesn't happen. We need to ensure that the local authorities continue to remain an essential institution in the community and that they can play their roles. But I will hasten to say that the local authorities also need to cooperate with the elected members of parliament. They need to cooperate with them. I'm not saying that you should allow them to lead you down a road that you may not want to go. If you have your objections, put it in writing. Inform the appropriate authorities. Call it out if you have to. But we need to work together. But I don't have that problem in Grand Bay. I'm always my partner from a long time. He's a little boy in Ramo. So when I'm ready, I go where I tell him, but if you have to tell me no, he'll tell me no. Because I have to respect the man. I know he's a little boy. So. But the truth is we need to work together. You need to find out, you need to have a working relationship with your member of parliament. Identify projects together, implement them together, identify community needs as a team, and bring it to your member of parliament. Let's make it work, because I am convinced we can do it. We have a long tradition of local authorities where we have been serving, we have been volunteering, and we need to continue in that spirit to ensure that we can make our communities stronger, more resilient communities.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vince Henderson, I sat there and I said, listen, it's not a lecture, it's just a deliberation, a discussion, an engagement. And that's the kind of passionate individual Dr. Henderson is. And it's not by accident that he is the minister responsible for climate resilience. In fact, I remember clearly post-Maria, his engagement, and he did mention the whole relief supplies, and I had to be providing the information, and I roughly just simply say, for example, Campbell, 450 people and stuff like that, coming from just from my own knowledge. But certainly, he has raised some very pertinent points as it relates to the significant role that the institution of local authorities play in building strong communities. And I want us, if it's one thing we've got to take this morning and throughout the entire session today, is the role that you must play in building the resilience that is required in our communities. And of course, he ultimately said there can be no national resilience if communities are not resilient. And it's expected of you to build that resilience within those communities. Once again, thank you very much on Dr. Vince Henderson. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it's always an honor. This event is being hosted by the Division of Local Government and Community Development within the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Community Development. And there's no better person to address us this morning, the Honorable Minister with responsibility for Sports, Culture and Community Development, the Honorable Rosalind Paul. Please make her feel welcome.
Let me first, this always happens, lower to meet the short lady. Let me recognize my colleague minister, Dr. Vince Henderson, Honorable Vince Henderson, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Community Development, Mr. Lucian Blackmore, Her Worship, the Mayor of Roseau, Ermine Royer, President of DALCA, Mr. Yolan John Jules, Local Government Commissioner, Mr. Toussaint, the media, also Father Martin, and importantly, you, all the participants, representative of the various local authorities across Dominica. a pleasant good morning to you. Let me first of all wish everyone here today a successful and memorable local government month. The month of May is local government month. In fact, the month of May is not only local government month, but the month for tourism awareness and also Domfesta. I am delighted to share a few thoughts with you on the occasion of the 33rd anniversary of Local Government Month and for this National Climate Resilience Consultation. It is quite fitting that we are gathered here for this consultation to discuss the importance of building resilience at the community level through local government. As you heard from my colleague, there can be no resilience if you do not have the participation of local communities. It is always significant to get different views and to discuss ideas among local government practitioners on important areas confronting local government and the overall advancement of our people. The issue of environmental management, housing quality, infrastructure, the issue of disaster management, climate changes, and caring for our elderly and the most vulnerable are important matters that we must collectively find solutions for. This forum today provides you with a platform for having a conversation, and I trust that you will participate fully in a healthy discussion on ways to build community resilience and, by extension, a dynamic Dominica. We are all aware of the thrust of building a resilient Dominica. Our beloved Honorable Prime Minister continues to demonstrate exemplary leadership through the process of recovery. We are reminded of the fact that he spared no effort in declaring the vision of building the first climate resilient country in the world and has called on all of us Dominicans and friendly partners to join in this colossal undertaking. The work of the Honorable Prime Minister and the Dominican Labour Party-led government has resulted in the establishment of the Climate Resilient Execution Agency, CREED. This agency is responsible for setting the stage towards the vision as articulated by the Honorable Prime Minister. We have also seen the development of the Climate Resilience and Recovery Plan 2020 to 2030. This document serves as a blueprint for achieving the desired good of becoming the first climate resilient nation, and you, the local authorities, have a critical role in implementing this plan. I encourage councils to secure a copy of the document, which can be found on the official website of the Government of Dominica, and incorporate the CRRP in your plans and programs at village and municipal levels. So at village and urban councils, as well as the Kalinago, to ensure that we integrate the CRRP in your action plans. Later this morning, CREED will be making a presentation on the concept of a resilient Dominica, key targets and milestones. It is hoped that the presentation will bring clarity on the role of councils in building community resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, councillors and clerks, it cannot be debated that local government is a strategic vehicle for community empowerment and transformation, and it is within this context that local government is seen as a significant partner in building resilience at the community level. After all, you are on the ground, interacting directly leading and guiding grassroots people, families, and communities with love, care, and immeasurable voluntary service. One of the 6 result areas for climate resilient Dominica is strong communities. Strong communities refer to communities having the capacity to absorb stress or destructive forces for resistance or adaptation, the capacity to manage or maintain certain basic functions and structures during disastrous events, and the capacity to reverse or bounce back. And I dare say, not just bounce back, but to bounce forward, as we have shown as a government and people of Dominica. We have not only bounced back since Maria, we are bouncing forward. Strong communities also focuses on key elements such as adequate access to shelter, food, water, power, telecommunications, and other basic services, social cohesion, disaster preparedness, and responsiveness. Okay, and here I speak of community social capital, the togetherness to combat chronic communicable disease. I want to emphasize that traditionally, councils and community practitioners worked with communities to ensure, for example, we had backyard gardening, critical for food security, and we had tidy village competitions, ensuring that the whole community kept the community clean. They cleaned the drains, and this is very critical to resilience. So I would call on you as community practitioners, development practitioners, to probably adopt and embrace again some of the traditional practices that we had that built resilience among our people. And importantly, my colleague minister mentioned all the officers on the field who worked with the council and communities, and we need to bring that back. And I want to just mention and emphasize that this is one of the first directives that the permanent secretary and I discussed, that when you had these communities where there was a theme saying healthy people, healthy communities, and you had all of these officers working at a unit as a unit at the community level, it was very effective, even in addressing the issues of chronic non-communicable diseases to combat this. So we need to go back to these, and I urge you, the councils here, to take the lead. I urge local authorities to redouble your efforts in bringing the communities together with a view to enhancing the collective consciousness of your residents, thereby reviving the Kudme spirit, which was once a household word, but not only a household word, it was a well-entrenched traditional practice. It is something that we lived, it was part of our life, and it is, we see after every disaster how the Kudme spirit assists communities to bounce back quickly. Each council must ensure that the community disaster plan is developed and operationalized, and that the entire community is made aware of the plan. Councils are also expected to play a leading role in the establishment of well-structured disaster management committees so as to improve the state of readiness of communities. It is imperative that the councils build capacity to respond to disaster, since capacity building is the prerequisite for the successful outcome of community resilience. I am very pleased with the collaboration between the Division of Local Government and CREED in the execution of the Community Emergency Readiness Capacity Building Training for vulnerable communities. To date, a total of 246 individuals from the councils, disaster committees, disaster management committees, and other interest groups have been trained in 37 vulnerable communities around Dominica. This training has better positioned the communities to respond to adverse weather and climate events. I wish to call on the councils to continue to collaborate and participate in this SIRI initiative and other initiatives which seek to help boost the community's capacity for disaster management. As we approach the next hurricane season, I must take the opportunity to encourage you to move swiftly to make all necessary preparedness for the upcoming hurricane season. You must ensure that your disaster committees are activated and reactivated, and that you meet your people to provide them with relevant information for their own safety. Rest assured, your government will continue to provide financial, technical, and other support to those in need. Government will also continue to partner with the councils to deliver services of its recovery program to strengthen the resilience of communities island-wide. In closing, I again wish all of you a productive consultation and a successful local government month. May the good Lord continue to shower his blessings upon you. May God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica. I thank you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister with Responsibility for Sports, Culture, and Community Development. We are so very blessed in our ministry to have our minister who's a social activist, a community leader, a development individual concerned about the development of communities. And I'm happy that she articulated the progress that we've made. And of course, just last week, the Honorable Minister led a delegation at a Caribbean local government conference where Dominica took center stage, where I was pretty surprised at the manner in which that the other Caribbean view Dominica as far as resilience is concerned. And we had the opportunity to make some presentations as to the various activities that we're undertaking in Dominica as far as climate resilience is concerned. And of course, one of the highlights too is the significant progress that women have made in local government. In fact, Dominica has the highest percentage of women participation in local government in the Caribbean. We had 43%, while the other islands are staggering at 20% and 22%. We have 43% of the composition of our councils are women. And that's outstanding for Dominica. And I think we made the mark. Yeah, so we are making progress as far as resilience is concerned. And I will tell you, for example, that I have had to, during my stay in Barbados, I had several meetings with local government commissioners of the other islands, and I had to be giving them as to how we did it and what we're doing and how they can, of course, take on board some of the activities and programs that we have implemented as far as resilience. So Dominica is leading the way in terms of resilience in the region, and it's all because of the efforts that we all put, the government, the people, the councils, other institutions, in leading the way to ensure that we become the first climate resilient nation in the world. At this time, we're coming to an end to this official opening of our national consultation, and it's an honor and privilege to call the Mayor of Roseau, our worship, Ermin Royer, to give us the vote of thanks. Please make her feel welcome.
Head table, Father Charles Martin, councillors, chairpersons, creed, the media, good morning. It is for me a distinct pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this, now including very important, National Resilience Consultation for the Local Government Authority. Building resilience in any context, in any institution, in any community, or in any country is of paramount importance, especially in this time when natural disasters are becoming more frequent and more intense. Over the past few years, the word resilience has been used very often. But have we taken stock of the true meaning of the word in practical sense? Today's consultation has enlightened us. It has provided and armed us with the necessary information to be able to take appropriate actions. I was fortunate to have been part of a Dominica delegation who traveled recently to Barbados under the Caribbean Development Bank sponsored municipality finance project, where we present and discuss various aspects of our action plans under the sustainable various aspects of our action plan under the sustainable development of goals, which dealt with climate change action and resilience framework. Similarly to the consultation of objective was enhance our understanding in our approach in dealing with very serious issues that continue to affect us all locally and regionally. It is fitting at this stage to applaud you for your knowledge and information which you have shared with us. Our participation in forums like this as local government participation offers us the necessary skills which are required to place our councils, community, people in the state of readiness and the ability to bounce back faster in likelihood of any disaster. This capacity building effort has done just that, and I must commend the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Community Development and the Department of Local Government and the Community Development for organizing such a timely consultation, especially on the eve of the hurricane season. To all special invited guests presenting and participating today, National Consultation, I thank you for your contribution in sharing with us very important information. The information shared and the interaction will further empower all of us as we look for the best possible approach in dealing with these effects of climate change and adopting the mitigating action of combat this very serious problem. With these few words, I conclude again by thanking all of you for making this event a very successful one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. We want to thank you for thanking us. We also want to thank the Government Information Service and DBS Radio for bringing this live to the wider population in Dominica and of course in the diaspora. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the official opening of this National Climate Resilient Consultation for local authorities in Dominica. We'll take a break and we will continue with our sessions, our first presentation. So we're taking a break, and thank you very much again for being here with us. Thank you very much.